And now, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, BrandonRimes.
Hi, welcome to the show. Thanks so much for spending some time with us here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. Got a great team, I'll tell you what. Just everybody on the team, the producers, the real estate team, we're rocking and rolling, hitting on all cylinders. Full swing of the spring selling season right now. Lots of good things happening. We got a party coming up, by the way. You're invited to our next gratitude party, business mixer, in a great location too, Dave, over at Crown and Bull again. We had such a great time a couple weeks ago. Mm-hmm. We're going back, man.
Yes, it's a fantastic place. I love the setup of it too. We have to get the thing else out in the backyard of it.
Yeah.
So it's Crown and Bull, downtown Dunedin, 319 Main Street, right down in the heart of downtown of Dunedin. It's going to be Thursday, July 3rd, day before 4th of July. It's going to be Independence Day theme. So try to wear your red, white, and or blue. Of course, the appetizers are going to be covered by the MVP team, Platinum MVP team. It's going to be a great time to come down, talk with the other expert contributors, do some networking, and share some stories with everybody. Yeah,
working on a drink sponsor, too. I think I got one covered, so I might buy your first drink as well. Come on down, July 3rd, Thursday, Crown and Bull. We hope to see you there. Top 10 NASCAR drivers by career earnings. Pretty cool list here. NASCAR, we cover a lot of the politicians and the sports and the their top 10. So this was an interesting one we came up with here. So good call there. Local stats. We're going to tell you what the absorption rate is, what's happening in the market as well. And we have a feel-good story of the day. GoFundMe for teen who rushed to work instead of partying after graduation skyrockets to $180,000. So feel-good story of the day coming up here as well. This segment brought to you by Brio Tuscan Grill, the official restaurant partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Excellent food, wonderful ambiance, very friendly wait staff over at the International Plaza Mall. Brio Tuscan Grill, longtime friends of the program, and they have live entertainment now on the rooftop. It's super cool. Check out their website. They've got a pronto lunch as well, 11 to 3. You get $12.95 menu items, and there's some really good stuff on there. Pastas, flatbreads, sandwiches, salads, awesome salads as well. Great opportunity. Go say hello to the chef is Chef Oscar and Gabrielle, one of the managers there. Let them know the real estate quarterback sent you. Take them up on special offers and incentives. All right, we got a couple of hot listings. We'll jump right into it. We got Aaron Scheetz joining us in studio today as well. Pioneer Mortgage Funding. Aaron and I are going to talk about down payment assistance, credit score, how to improve credit scores. We're going to give some tips there. And he's got recent success story as well. Really cool story that he's going to tell about a recent success story. All right. We got a hot listing here at 221 Bel Air, Howard Drive in Bel Air, Florida. This is a great property. I absolutely love this one. This was Keller Williams International. So by being through Keller Williams International, we're getting your property exposure to the DuPont Registry, Wall Street Journal, New York Times, all the major spots. You're going to be internationally focused here when it comes to our listings that are over $1 million. 5-bedroom, 3-bath, 3,500 square foot. This is 221 Howard Drive. Gorgeous 3-island kitchen, Thermador appliances, 100 linear feet of water frontage. Historic Howard Drive boasts one of the highest land elevations in the area. You're 1 block from beach access, where you can see the dolphin-filled water, sugar sand beaches, and take your bike down there and cruise around. Awesome time to have. Live that Florida lifestyle to the fullest at 221 Howard Drive, Bel Air Beach, Florida. Beautiful listing, compliments of Aaron on our team. All right, we also have the Magnolia property. I really love this. 17416 Magnolia Island Boulevard. Another property that is just around 900 and change, just over 900,000. 5-bedroom, 3-bath, 2 half-bath, 2-car garage, 3121 square feet, acre of land. You got lake access there in this private gated community. Pool and spa package. Beautiful pool that is surrounded by great pavers there. Awesome looking pavers. And a lighter color kitchen cabinetry and a great opportunity to buy real estate. Now, this is a rare gem at an excellent price. The Magnolia Island is home to only about 30 homes in that community. And if you're buying, selling, investing, refinancing, we would love to talk to you. You can see all of our real estate listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com.
Only in America, dreaming in red, white, and blue.
All right, Aaron Scheetz. Aaron Scheetz, welcome in. Pioneer Mortgage Funding, welcome in, sir.
Hello, how you doing? Thanks for having me back.
Yeah, buddy, good stuff. So down payment assistance, I think the more, my overwhelming question when I talk about real estate today is why are more buyers getting in the market? Because you can get such a great deal. Down payment assistance is another thing that a lot of people overlook.
Yeah, it's an option. We're doing quite a bit of it right now. So what we're seeing on the apps that are coming in are a lot of people just don't have the money for the down payment, right? As a broker Pioneer, we've got multiple down payment options for people. So we have different ones depending on where the property is located and the situation. They're all a little different.
Yeah.
For instance, the city of St. Petersburg has a really good down payment program. They're limited. You have to be within the municipal boundaries, but they'll do up to 20%, total of $75,000.
Nice.
And they'll give you $5,000 for closing costs as well. Hometown Heroes, they'll have funds again in July coming up, which is exciting. That's a popular one. Initially,
and they go fast.
First responders, it does. You can reserve your funds, which I recommend.
Okay.
We can reserve them ahead of time. Those do go pretty quick. Initially, that was first responders. They've since opened it up to pretty much anybody. You just have to be a Florida-based company, right? And they'll do 5%, up to 5% of the purchase price. And there's a little bit of a income calculation that you have to adhere by. I think it's $140,000 is the limit for pinellas. And then we have other options too, depending on where the property is located. We have lender-based down payment assistance programs as well. So we have options just about for anybody, and we're doing quite a bit of them.
Yeah, I like it, man. There's so much opportunity right now because you have. Let's just look at some stats. I like to go right to the numbers because the numbers really tell a story. Let's look at, Hillsborough County is the biggest here in the area. So you talk about the 17th largest metro in the United States, Hillsborough County, 4th most populated in Florida, 25th as far as population in the county. So if you look at Hillsborough County, you talk about non-distressed. These are properties that are not foreclosure, not single, or not short sale. So you have 6,934 active listings right now. 1,711 sold out of that 6,934. That gives us a 25% absorption rate. That also equals a 4.1 month supply of inventory. So we're almost into what they call a balanced market. Between 5 and 7 months, you're in a balanced market. We're still slightly, ever so slightly, on that side of seller's market because less inventory. All right, so if you look at that, buyers, what happens is also when you have the inventory like that, you have sellers that are sitting on the market longer, days on market are rising, you have a record number of price improvements. So price drops. They're dropping the price to bring the buyer, to attract the buyer. They're offering incentives. They're offering seller concessions and down payment assistance. So tell me, talk a little bit more about that, Aaron. When you structure a deal, sometimes it's better to get the assistance rather than just a plain drop in price, right?
Yeah, it always works out better, right? Opposed to taking a lesser purchase price.
Yep.
These properties have been on the market for a while. These people are willing to work with you. Ask for the closing cost, right? Each scenario is a little different as far as the percentage, but generally speaking, we're between 3 and 6% seller paid closing costs.
Yeah.
Use that to buy the rate down, less money out of pocket. What a lot of first-time home buyers don't realize is the initial cost once you purchase that home, right? You're going to need a mower. You're going to need to get stuff for the home. So if you can keep some of that money in your pocket, right, structure the deal with the seller-paid closing cost, it's definitely beneficial. And you can use that to buy the rate down as well. So where, you would take a lesser purchase price maybe of $10,000 versus the $10,000 in seller-paid closing cost. If you're using that to buy the rate down, it's going to work out better payment-wise versus just taking that lower, purchase price by $10,000.
Right. Yeah. Get the lower payment, and then if you're able to pay a biweekly, people talk about this biweekly thing. Does that really work? Tell me about that.
You can do biweekly payment options. I've had there's third-party companies that do that as well, and what that helps a lot with is cash flow too. Instead of making your first payment on the first, you can break it up every 2 weeks, do a payment. Yep. And with those payment structures like that too, you actually make an extra payment a year, so you pay down the mortgage better. You have a better, like a net effective interest rate is what they call it. So it's definitely an option. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. If you just joined us, we're talking to our mortgage partner here. This is Aaron Scheetz,
Pioneer Mortgage Funding and local lenders supporting the local economy by shopping local. Don't shop the big banks. I can tell you that's the one thing that really just, when I see people going to the big games, big names, and I don't have to say them, you know who they are, right? They're the people that took the bailout money. They're the people that are getting caught for a lot of fraud every year, and it's in the billions. You see how they're manipulating the system. They're debanking people. These big banks are literally debanking people like Don Jr. and others just for strictly having a certain perspective, a life perspective. They're going to take away their banking. So, anyways, before I go down that bunny trail too far, I'll rein it back in a little bit. Shop local, work with the local people, work with the folks that have the same mindset and support the same values that you do. So this is Brandon Rimes. I'm your host. We're talking with Aaron Scheetz here, Consumer Quarterback Show. Coming up, we got top 10 NASCAR drivers by career earnings. Best sports in the world. Not going to break yet, Yumiko. This is a little early for the break, but credit. So we'll talk to me about credit score. When you think about credit score, that's another area that people have confusion on. They think that, hey, my credit score is too low. First of all, they don't really know what the dynamics are there.
Sure.
But there's also things that you can do to rapid rescore them to get those up really quick.
We do it quite often, actually. Sometimes you'll look at your credit score online through Credit Karma or a different system, where they're actually using a different scoring model than the mortgage business does. So you see a higher score, we pull the credit that's lower than that. So we do. We can offer the credit rescore option for people, help them rescore their credit. Most of the time, it's as simple as just paying a credit card down. The balance is a little higher versus what your available limit is.
Right.
There's different options. I mean, like I said, we do it just about on every other app that comes in, it seems like lately, because somebody thinks their score is higher and we pull it. Obviously it's lower. So it's a common practice.
Speaking of that, tell me that recent success story, because I love some of these stories, because I think with our audience, they really resonate better when they hear it in a scenario type story.
Yeah, we closed the loan last week for a lady that I worked with her for a year. We had to rescore her credit, get some things in order. Took a while to do that. We ended up using one of the down payment assistance programs as well. So between that and the seller concessions, we were able to get her into a home for a little over $1,000. So it worked out well. She had a great agent that worked with her as well. So it was definitely a good thing. Her current situation wasn't the best, where she was renting and she really needed to get out of there. So we helped her out with that. And overall, it really worked out well for her.
Yeah, that's great. And it took a year. So
patience. Yeah, I pulled the app in April of 2024. I looked the other day. So
patience.
Yeah. You got to sometimes, that's common. I work with people for, that time period. Sometimes it's the situation, or if you got to rescore things, or, different processes that are involved.
Yep. You can't have everything, in those situations, but it's better than renting. If you're out there renting and you're still paying a rent payment, and you're thinking, hey, I've always thought about buying a home, or maybe it's a friend or a loved one, reach out to our hotline. We'd love to help you with this. It's 813-917-1894. You can even text the word rent and the amount of rent that you're paying, and we'll put together a rent versus own scenario. We'll say, hey, look, here's what an interest rate would look like. Here's what the payment would look like. Principal and interest breakdown. And when you look at those numbers, Aaron, when you show those rent versus own analysis to people, and you say, would you rather build up this much in equity over 10 years and pay this much, you're paying some interest to the bank, but you're building equity, paying up and owning, or if you're paying rent, it's 100% interest, right? You're not paying anything to your principal.
Right.
So that's
to your benefit.
Yeah, that's the scenario. So you're making your landlords rich. So that's something, rent versus own, 813-917-1894. Maybe you want to know more about credit. You can get the credit information as well. We'll help you with that, a credit package. And if you're just looking to buy, sell, or invest, right now we're making deals, man. People are doing deals. They're being able to negotiate concessions off of their the list price and build that in. You're building this overall deal. You're making an offer. A lot of times that's lower than list price because it's been on the market, 100 days or whatever. So you're building all that in. You're looking at a scenario where, buyers are getting good deals. Sellers are ready to sell. Some of them that have to sell, they want to move, they have to move. It's a necessity in some cases. So that's the key. And by the way, here's another status. This was interesting from Florida Realtors. According to National Association of Realtors, NAR, in a 2-year period, there can be as many as 7 million newborn babies, 3 million marriages, 4 million net new jobs, 50 million job switches alone. So think about that. And then you add in the death, divorce, bankruptcies, all those scenarios that play out. People are going to be exchanging real estate. They're going to be buying and selling, and then there's going to be investors coming in. So there's a lot of reasons why you want to make sure you're working with a great realtor team that can negotiate for you and put your interests first and help you, as we say, win in any marketplace. So, all right, quick break. Right back. Coming back more with Aaron Scheetz, Pioneer Mortgage Funding, local lender, support the local economy. Coming up to the top 10 NASCAR drivers by career earnings. And wow, these guys make a pretty good paycheck for driving a car, man. I might have to go back to drive a car, get the kids driving cars or something, or maybe golfing. Yeah, get them out there. Yeah, get them out there swinging a golf club and riding some golf carts around the laps. I don't know. All right, we'll take a quick break. Right back. More with Aaron Scheetz here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, ConsumerQB.com.
Thanks for listening to my daddy's show. Please make sure to send him all of your real estate deals and subscribe to the Consumer Quarterback Show podcast on iTunes and Spotify, or check out our YouTube channel. Have a blessed day.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at ConsumerQB.com.
Hey, Brandon Rimes here. Did you know that we buy houses cash? We will close quickly and give you a fair offer on your home or residential properties, even commercial properties, and we will give you a fair cash offer, close quickly, and be diligent when you're shopping these types of scenarios, because a lot of the wholesalers, the flippers out there, they will sign you up on an as-is contract, and they will shop that contract and try to find a buyer, but they may not find the buyer, and they won't close. So this is Brandon Rimes, 813-917-1894, ConsumerQB.com. Brandon Rimes, we buy houses cash and fast. Attention business owners, did you know we have 100% financing options available? Our no money down program offers 100% financing for business owners. If you are currently leasing your commercial space, you can purchase real estate for no money down. Additionally, the program offers money for working capital, equipment, and business fixtures. You can even pay off current business debt. Reach out at 813-917-1894. Call or text 813-917-1894. BRimes at KW.com. And that is our 100% financing, no money down program for business owners. We would love to help you buying, selling, or investing in real estate. 813-917-1894. BRimes at KW.com. Ours Creole Smokehouse, the official Pinellas County restaurant partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Say hello to Doug Clark, chef and owner Doug Clark, 310 East Tarpon Avenue, Tarpon Springs, ourscreole.com. Ours Creole Smokehouse, 310 East Tarpon Avenue, Tarpon Springs, ourscreole.com. Excellent food, wonderful ambiance. Say hello to our friend Doug Clark. If you're facing an insurance claim, don't just trust the insurance company to have your best interests at heart. This is Brandon Rimes, Consumer Quarterback Show. Reach out to rightwaypa.com, our friend Derek Coble at rightwaypa.com. Looking to level up your sales game? With 20-plus years of coaching experience spanning across several industries, Lindsayrimes helps everyone from entry-level reps to seasoned business owners boost sales, improve work-life balance, and retain top talent with customized options catered to personal, group, or corporate settings. Brandon and Lindsayrimes offer training on negotiation strategy, business development, and more. Let's grow your business together. Call 813-917-1894. That's 813-917-1894. Submit an email at consumerqb.com.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rimes. Online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-917-1894.
All right, welcome back. Coming up, top 10 NASCAR drivers by career earnings. We're back here in studio with Aaron Scheetz, Pioneer Mortgage Funding, for all of your mortgage financing, refinancing. Hey, you got refinance boom coming up soon. As soon as they drop these rates, there's going to be a lot of people looking to refi. A lot of people jumping in the mortgage side, getting into the business or getting into the the business of buying and selling. So it's a great opportunity right now. Get involved in real estate right here in Tampa Bay. We'd love to help you buying, selling, investing, refinancing. And, of course, we have 80 different categories, show partners ranging from CPA financial advice, legal, we got you covered. Automobile industry, we got you covered. Home services, got you covered. So consumerqb.com, consumerqb.com. You can submit an email form there as well. We do get questions as well. We like to read them online on the show from time to time as well. Lexington, let's pull up that Lexington townhome. This is a beautiful property here. Owner's motivated at 2547 Lexington Oak Drive, Brandon, Florida. We got a beautiful townhome. This is probably the best price and best option in the zip code. Maybe they're surrounding 3 or 4 zip codes. 3-bedroom, 3.5 bath, 1-car garage, 1917 square foot. You got new flooring here. You got an EV charger in the garage. Beautiful kitchen. Awesome clubhouse, pool there as well. Community pool, that is. 2547 Lexington Oak Drive, Brandon, Florida. Great opportunity to buy real estate. 4798 Indigo Road in Groveland. We sell vacant land. We got about a dozen vacant land parcels as well. This one's 42 acres in Groveland, Florida. Prime land for development. 2-bedroom, 2-bath home. Ideal for a residence or a temporary home base during development. You can see all of our listings. PlatinumMVPteam.kw.com. All right, top 10 NASCAR drivers by earnings. Do you have a favorite driver, Aaron?
I like Junior, Dale Earnhardt Jr. I always followed him,
Yep.
You ain't first, you last.
Yeah.
You ain't first, you last. Top 10, Mark Martin coming in at 55 millis. You got Kurt Busch coming in at the identical 55 million. Kurt Busch has been active since 2000. Number 8, Matt Kenseth, $60 million. It's interesting because you look at the earnings versus the endorsements. Once we get to the bigger names here, you'll see some big endorsements. So here's Denny Hamlin, $70 million. Professional NASCAR driver, earned a decent fortune, I would say so. Kyle Busch, $95 million. Famous driver. He's one of the most famous drivers here, it says, coming in. Dale Earnhardt Jr., number 5, $100 million. A cool $100 million. I mean, can't live off that, but it's a good start, Kevin Harvick, $110 million. Driving for Richard Childress Racing. You got number 3, Tony Stewart, $120 million. Looks like he's representing Bass Pro Shops out there. Successful driver. Jeff Gordon, $130 million. He is a well-known name, of course. Coming in at number 1, Jimmy Johnson, $150 million. He's the highest paid NASCAR driver by career earnings, $150 million through racing. Shake and bake. There it goes. Number 1. All right, good stuff. So, Aaron, you're involved in a little BMX racing and some other stuff around?
Yeah, I try to stay active. I just started racing BMX again about 6 months ago, and I do a lot of paddle boarding, too. I live by the water, so
nice.
I got a dog, keeps me active, so I try to stay out there and just get out and keep the weight off a little bit.
That's right. Yeah, stay active, man.
Exercise
we live in the best place, right? Tampa,
I'm in
St.
Dunedin,
Pete, Clearwater.
right by the causeway, so
yeah.
It's nice. I live right by the trail, too, the Pinellas Trail, so I'm on that quite a bit on the bikes and just try to stay active.
Living in paradise. We live where people vacation. That's the key. Final thought to folks out there thinking about getting into, getting pre-qualified. Don't wait. I mean, what's the final thought here?
Touch with either your realtor or myself, and let's at least get the ball rolling with an application. Sometimes you don't know what's going on with the credit too, so we would have time to fix it. If we have to do a credit rescore, if there's something that's reporting that shouldn't be on there. And like I said, we'll look into the different options for you as well. As a mortgage broker, we're set up now. I think we got like 70 banks we're approved.
Wow.
So any program that's available, we have access to it.
Bank statement loans, all those
stated,
different types.
If you have a DSCR, which is a investment program, it's just based on the rent of the property. So, like I said, if there's a program out there available, we have access to it. Get a hold of us early. We look into the credit, look into the down payment programs for you. That way, when you go to write an offer, you're ready to go.
Reach out, 813-917-1894. Call or text the show hotline, consumerqb.com, 813-917-1894, consumerqb.com. Coming up, top 10 forces reshaping real estate. Feel good story of the day also, GoFundMe for teen who rushed to work instead of partying after graduation skyrockets. We'll be right back.
Hey, I'm Ken Shamrock, and you're here with Consumer Quarterback Show. And I say, Brandon Rhymes, knock out your competition.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. We greatly appreciate everybody that supports the show, supports the hotline, calling into the program here. Local area consumer advocate. That means helping you understand your buying decisions, making you more street smart as a consumer advocate. We hope to have Fred Muth on the line. We had some technical issues. We couldn't get Fred Muth from Tampa Screens and Aluminum, but a great company nonetheless, tampascreens.com. You can find him online. We're going to substitute in Dr. Scott Anderson coming up here in just a minute. Quick shout out to American Gutter Solutions. Anthony and his team came over. They did a great job. American Gutter Solutions. They give free estimates, family owned and operated. And I tell you what, I picked up his business card from Florida Firearms Academy, and he's a friend or an employee. Someone works there in his family with Thomas King. So any friend of Thomas King is a friend of mine. American Gutter Solutions, Anthony, for your free estimates. And he can help you with seamless gutters, gutter guards, gutter cleaning, gutter repairs, and more. Coming up, top 10 forces reshaping real estate. What's driving change in the real estate industry? A new report outlines 10 key issues, from inflation and insurance costs to artificial intelligence or affordability. Real estate industry is navigating a rapidly changing landscape. We just came out of the NAR lawsuit as well. The Counselors of Real Estate newly released top 10 issues affecting real estate. The report outlines how economic uncertainty, demographic changes, technology are converging often in unpredictable ways to reshape markets and challenge sellers, buyers, and investors. So we'll go through that top 10, and it's kind of interesting when you think about, because you're talking about geopolitical and regional wars, insurance costs, artificial intelligence, AI. Wow, interesting there. And here's a really cool stat that I just pulled from the National Association of Realtors. Did you know that Florida's economy added 430,800 jobs in early 2025? Some states would be happy to get that in a year, and we're adding that in Q1. So 430,000 plus jobs. The state's private sector job growth outpaced the national rate, the U.S. Bureau of Labor and Statistics. And speaking of that, here's a clip from Scott Bessent. What a super smart guy. Talking about the differences between New York and Florida.
On the other side, we're going to deliver a better product to the American people. Because Brett, I lived in New York, I lived in Florida, and state of New York spends about $235 billion a year. State of New York spends about $235 billion a year. State of Florida spends about $125 billion. Both states have approximately the same number of people, but Florida doesn't have an income tax. And I can tell you, having lived in both, it's better not to have an income tax, and Florida gives better services. So we want the U.S. to be more like Florida.
Tax either. There's no sunshine tax. We're not taxing it.
That's damn state of the country.
I guess we're paying it in property taxes. I don't know. I mean, property taxes are getting a little bit outrageous there, but I do like the idea. I was talking with Chris Markowski in the hallways here, and we're bouncing that around. Property taxes. Hey, what do you do about them? There's talks of significantly reducing or trying to eliminate. How do you get rid of them? Well, hey, look, if it's not your primary residence, in other words, if you're a secondary home, vacation home, investor, a lot of BlackRock and in these investor type companies, you pay more. You're just going to pay more in taxes. That way we can alleviate, because you think about it, the 65-year-old couple, they worked hard their whole life and they finally want to retire, and then they look at having to pay taxes every year on a home that's paid off, David, and a lot of veterans too, right? I mean, a lot of veterans, we definitely need to be doing more in terms of property taxes and service for veterans. I firmly believe coming up on our Independence Day celebration coming up as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's why they always say it's like, where's it going? Where's it going? Do you actually?
Where's the money going?
do you actually ever truly own your property?
Right. Yeah. And then the other way is, where is it going, is where are the tax dollars going? So Doging Florida, we saw what Doge did. Elon found out, and his team, oh man, there's all this waste, fraud, and abuse. Let's Doge Tallahassee. Let's Doge the local governments. Let's find out where the money's going. Let's do an audit, and let's make sure that we're keeping it, above board and for the people. That's the great thing about our country. It's for the people, by the people, of the people, and that's the way it should be. Coming up on Thursday, July 3rd, by the way, come on out, 6 o'clock. We're going to be over at Crown and Bull again. That's our gratitude party, and it's going to have an Independence Day theme. And I think I'm going to do a little performance there, Dave. It's going to be like a Red Skelton. You remember Red Skelton,
Of course.
Scott?
Yeah,
That's
comedian.
He did the Pledge of
Okay.
Allegiance.
Yeah.
He did the Pledge of Allegiance, right? Remember that? And I think that'd be a cool thing to do there. Have a little music going in the background and just
absolutely.
kind of remind everybody what
What
this
it's all
pledge
about.
is about, man.
Yeah.
We're pledging allegiance to the greatest country and all the people that have died for this country. And there's a faction in our country that is just the opposite. And anything that's good for the country, they fight it. You got radical judges fighting these every step that the administration does to get to expel illegal migrants, illegal alien rapists and murderers, and so the left is fighting to keep them here.
Yeah.
They're going to have They want to have tacos, and they want to have some
It's their
margaritas with
communist
them.
agenda. I mean, it really is.
It
It's
is
a communist agenda.
And we ain't having it.
No.
We ain't standing for it. We're not going to do it. All right, so we'll get off that bunny trail there. We'll come back to some real estate. We got Dr. Scott Anderson joining us. Before we do, we got one of our hot listings, and we like to feature our listings. The strategy works. We help our sellers sell faster for more money, maximum exposure on all of our listings, all the way down to Fort Myers, Naples, Marco Island, up to the Panhandle, over to Orlando. We got a huge radio listener audience here on 860 The Answer, 1025 The Bone, and other outlets. So maximum exposure for our listings. We got one at 7991 Lake James Boulevard. This is a great opportunity in Lakeland, Florida. Beautiful home. You got a nice, property here. It's updated, remodeled, beautiful pool area there on a lake. 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 3-car garage, affordable home at 1,890 square feet. And it's renowned builder, Ernie White Construction, 55-plus community, Lake James neighborhood in Lakeland. Open split floor plan with gorgeous tile, luxury vinyl flooring throughout, high ceilings, and recessed lighting, that is. Great opportunity to buy real estate. Lots of amenities. Got a heated pool, fitness center, clubhouse, library, game rooms. Check out 7991 Lake James Boulevard in Lakeland, Florida. Great opportunity to buy real estate right here in beautiful Tampa Bay. All right, we list property, 9594 Southeast Camp Road, Ocala, Florida. This is a hardware store that we have listed, and if you're selling a business, commercial property, we would love to talk to you and give you our 2 cents on what the property would be valued at and the marketing strategy for it. And we sold $2 billion in real estate last year out of our 3 local offices, so we know a thing or two about it. 5,725 square feet, 1-acre lot. You have a thriving hardware store with lucrative income streams. And this is right outside of Ocala in the booming Silver Springs Shores. You've got 2 rentable sections in back. Existing motor shop currently occupies as a lease in place. So you've got cash flow from the business, cash flow from investments. Seller financing is available with a strong down payment. This property at 9594 Southeast Camp Road in Ocala, Florida, is offering multiple income generating opportunities. And you can see all of our real estate listings. And if you're buying, selling, investing, or refinancing, make sure you stop by our website, platinummvpteam.kw.com. All right, Dr. Scott Anderson also joining us in studio. Scott, we're going to talk with you on tomorrow's show as well about your practice and everything you're doing there. I wanted to tackle top 10 forces reshaping real estate, because you're a real estate investor, you're an owner. Yeah. Pretty cool list here. Did you hear some of the teams there?
I did. Prior to, I did hear it. Especially, I think AI is going to be a big mover. I think illegal immigration, and especially in Florida, I think the housing market's changed dramatically because of the influx of people that have come in by the hundreds of thousands over the last several years. I think that has shaped our economy here, especially in the housing market. and availability and prices going up. Throw in inflation and all, from the previous administration kind of destroyed economy.
Yep.
That didn't help things either. But
right.
there's lots of things shaping it and changing it.
Yeah, let's jump into the top 10 list here. So there's a top 10 list that's put together by a group called Counselors of Real Estate. So this says top 10. Number one, they're saying, hey, what's affecting real estate? What's the top 10 forces right now reshaping real estate? What's driving the real estate industry? Number one, they're saying global and U.S. elections. Okay, so migration patterns, maybe people moving from other countries.
Well, I think it's a lot of these oligarchs buying up property in mass and then raising up the prices of them. And using them to rent, but then changing the rent prices because they own all the properties.
Yeah, these hedge funds, these black rocks,
big
even
corporations.
You got it on a smaller scale with what's the computer guy, Gates?
Yeah,
him and some of his boys are buying stuff. You got the CCP buying up farmland and close to military bases. Yeah. So number one, global and U.S. elections. Number two, cost of financing. No doubt there.
Inflation killing everybody. And I know people are terrified because, the interest rates were so high, it was just impossible to get a home.
Right.
Unless you put a significant amount down, and a lot of people didn't have that extra money to put down to buy it down, their interest rates. So it was a nightmare for a while. And the Fed, again, I think they're political in what they're doing, and they should be lowering the rates, and they're just not doing it. And they're doing it on purpose.
Yeah.
I think
to
stagnate the economy.
Same thing they did last time, the same thing they've done before. And especially when you look at the EU, the European Union has cut rates 9 times.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make any sense other than what you just said, the aforementioned, of course. It's basically conservatives versus the entire establishment. Number 3, loan maturities and debt repricing.
Yeah. You got a lot of people that own their homes, fell on hard times and had to refinance.
Yep.
Restructure their loans so that they have money to live, and now they have higher interest rates. Their Social Security hasn't gone up. They're being taxed to death on all the things and purchases they buy. So it's squeezing out the middle class.
Really hurts seniors too. Yeah,
absolutely crushes the seniors.
Yeah, they get crushed because of the rising cost of things. Hopefully, we're bringing it back to. They're going to be a great thing for us in the long run.
Absolutely.
We've got to go through maybe a little short-term pain. But yeah, loan maturities and debt repricing. Number 4, geopolitics and regional wars. I mean, how much money have we sent to Ukraine? How much money have we sent over there? And how much money of that could have been spent a little bit more wisely at home, protecting our borders, taking care of our veterans, and doing things a little bit smarter?
Yeah, they're not going to get rid of their money laundering scheme. I mean, that's how they fund. That's how they fund the Democrat Party.
Yep.
So I know that's probably not going to go away, but it has changed significantly with this administration not dumping in just an incredible amount, because that needs to be spent here on infrastructure and getting our economy rolling again, because that's what's going to solve everything.
Yeah.
And I know those tariffs seem hard, but right now the tariffs haven't really affected anything, even though they said that it was going to end the world.
Right.
It hasn't. It actually hasn't hardly done anything. So even if we do have to go through a little temporary pain, it's worth it in the long run, because we're going to have remarkable prosperity. And look what we went through the 4 years prior to the old administration. They destroyed the economy. You don't hear people complaining about that. The inflation rates and cost of living and the reduction in pay for workers, all of that crashed and nobody said a thing.
Yeah, offshoring. Then, it was just terrible policies.
And then if Trump has tariffs, they speculate what could possibly happen years from now, and the whole world's coming to an end. It's incredible.
That's leverage. He's doing it as leverage.
Yep.
So insurance costs is next too. You got insurance costs. So we've seen that, and especially Florida, with the unfortunate event of a couple of big storms coming through back to back, and then you have those types of issues, and each state has some problems. Out in California, out west, you got the forest fires. You got tornadoes coming through. Your Alabama, your Kentuckys, and things like that. You got some tornadoes, but insurance costs, no doubt, have increased. Housing affordability and attainability. So again, that's back to the affordability factor that you were just mentioning. Affordability meaning, hey, the income that the salaries that they're making, because that's the other thing. People always want to throw this in there as far as the illegals coming across the border. They don't. The Americans don't want to work. Yeah, the Americans want to work, but for a fair wage.
Yeah,
we don't want to work at the cheap, low prices that some of these people would work for.
Yeah, because they can send that money home, and it's worth 5 times the amount.
That's right.
So, and they get by because they have all the benefits of welfare here.
That's right.
So they're living off our dime to begin with, the illegal aliens.
Boom.
And then all that money goes back to Central and South America.
That's right.
And they're become wealthy.
Yeah.
For their families. So,
That's
of course,
right.
they're going to do that.
All right, we're going to finish up this list. We got 7 through 10 coming up next. Top 10 forces reshaping real estate. Talking with Dr. Scott Anderson. Also, feel-good story of the day. Find out about this young man. He says, GoFundMe for teen who rushed to work instead of partying after graduation skyrockets to $180,000. GoFundMe set up for this child. And real good stuff there coming up on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Follow us online. We'd love to connect with you at BrandonRimes1 at CQB Show. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Our awesome producers have increased the viewership up 700% from Q1 to Q4. So stop by the website, consumerqb.com. Stop by the YouTube channel and find out why. Come and see what we're doing over there, consumerqb.com.
Hey, this is Grant Cardone, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show, hosted by my friend Brandon Rimes. Do not touch that dial. I'll come right through the radio and grab your throat.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com.
AmericaFirstPatriotStore.com for all of your non-woke American-made products. American values, Christian, conservative American values. Say hello to my business partner, Jim McCune at AmericaFirstPatriotStore.com. David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin.com. Say hello to Shane Socash, longtime friend of the Consumer Quarterback Show. 4009 Central Avenue, St. Petersburg. Online at David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin.com for all of your precious metals and jewelry design. David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin.com. Blue Moon Estate Sales of Pinellas County for all of your estate sale needs. BlueMoonEstateSales.com. Reach out to Jennifer. Tell her you heard about her here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. BlueMoonEstateSales.com. And stop by their store, the Blue Moon Store, at 1479 South Belcher in Largo. 1479 South Belcher in Largo. And that's BlueMoonEstateSales.com. SJ Movers and Junk Removal, the official moving partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. 727-71... Removal 727-717-0846. SJ Movers and Junk Removal. Hey, Brandon Rimes here for Jason Coble, owner of Coble Law. Coble Law has been handling injury cases in Tampa for the past 14 years and has a specialized approach focused on limiting client cost and maximizing client profit. TampaWorkCompLaw.com. TampaWorkCompLaw.com. Jason Coble, longtime friend of the Consumer Quarterback Show, personal injury law, and work comp law. Selling commercial, vacant land, or residential properties? Don't leave money on the table. List with the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. I'm Brandon Rimes. You can reach me at 813-917-1894. Call or text 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com. That's consumerqb, like quarterback.com. Buying, selling, investing, or refinancing? We would love to talk to you. Thank you so much and have a blessed day.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rimes. Online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-917-1894.
You know, we really appreciate you spending some time with us here on the Quarterback Show. We're talking with Dr. Scott Anderson here. I'm your host, Brandon Rimes, always helping you win in your real estate deals, buying, selling, investing. 700 Physicians Court in Leesburg. This is a really cool piece of land here. Buy some dirt over in Leesburg. This is a medical location, 0.52 acres, get a half-acre lot, R3, that's prime for development, and it is surrounded in this medical establishment, medical community, professional buildings surrounded there in that downtown area of Leesburg, Florida. Great opportunity in beautiful Tampa Bay. 1210 Paradise Lake Drive, Tarpon Springs, single-family home with a pool, spa package on the back. Paradise Lake Drive, 4 bedrooms, 3 bath, 2-car garage, 2274 square feet, and a great opportunity to buy real estate. Lighter color kitchen cabinetry, stainless steel appliances, and a gorgeous open concept living room combined with the kitchen area, and a nice fireplace there as well. You can see all of our real estate listings, and if you're buying, selling, investing, or refinancing, reach out. We'd love to talk to you. PlatinumMVPTeam.kw.com. All right, so here's our GoFundMe. So this is many readers were inspired by Macaulay Baker, a Georgia teen who went straight from his high school graduation to work a shift at Burger King the same night. Touched by his dedication, a local mom started a surprise GoFundMe that has since raised $187,000 to support his college education. In addition, the Burger King Foundation awarded him a $10,000 scholarship. And there you have it. Feel good story of the day. Hey, instead of going and partying, he says, hey, I'm going to go back to work, man.
Yeah, we have to reward those types of values, those conservative values.
That's
of
right.
Dedication, hard work, and sacrifice.
Yeah, man.
Because that's what really gets people ahead in life. Government doesn't.
That's right.
You have to be independent. You have to work hard and be dedicated. And you'll go exactly where you need to be.
He's hustling. 10 forces reshaping real estate. We're continuing with our list here. You have number 7. We're finishing off top 10 here. 7 on the list. Artificial intelligence. So you mentioned that one earlier. Yeah. How do you see AI affecting real estate?
I think AI is gonna be used to set prices, to predict the federal rates. I think it's going to be utilized as for comps.
Like an analyst?
Like an analyst.
Yeah.
And it's going to be more consistent overall. I think it's going to be able to handle the paperwork exponentially better.
Okay.
In terms of getting all the paperwork and it's a lot of paperwork. If you ever bought a house or properties, there's a lot to it. And then you've got
you still got to have that human oversight.
Absolutely,
got to have that realtor.
Of course.
You got to have that realtor in there still.
But when you get that set up as a template, it's going to expedite the process tenfold.
Sure, it could. And what happens when it turns sentient and we have these AI breaking in and entering, right?
Well, it's it doesn't come without great risk. Technology.
That's what they say.
Yeah,
that's what was it? Grandpa told Uncle Ben told Spider-Man that with great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah.
All right, so there's AI. Number 8, sustainability. What do you think about sustainability there, Dr. Scott?
Well, I think the golden age of prosperity is gonna hit. Mm-hmm. So I think people are going to be in a good position to finally be able to get those millennials. Hang on, I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised. As much as you may hate, as a result of propaganda, what's going to happen. I think when people get that taste of prosperity and houses become available and the Fed is forced to drop rates, I think that we're going to have a buying spree.
Yeah, and you hope you don't have this issue like in California. From what I'm hearing from some of the California outlets or the conservative outlets, is hey, they're not wanting to approve single family homes,
right? But they want you stacked up.
Yeah, they want you stacked up on purpose,
right?
With multiple level apartments. They want everybody to be renters. You don't want to own anything.
15-minute cities.
That's what they want to do. Yeah. All right, sustainability. 9, office vacancies, the tax base, and health of urban cores. So office vacancies. So why are offices vacant? Because of
half the businesses closed down.
Their return from work. Yeah. They're going to work from home. They don't need to go to the office. Mm-hmm. That's a part of it.
Brick and mortar.
Tax base and health of urban core. So you're losing the tax base in a sense. Well, what you have to do, you have to repurpose that. You got to reimagine that area. They like to use the word reimagine, right?
Yep.
Let's reimagine that area and let's make it into co-work spaces. Let's make it networking events. Let's make it, you got a certain amount of restaurant and bars already. And then number 10, price expectations gap. So that's kind of similar to affordability.
Of course.
Yeah, that's what we were thinking.
And like
there.
I said, with prosperity fixes everything.
Yes.
When everybody's doing well, it's amazing how small businesses restart, brick and mortars come popping up.
That's right.
And then property taxes are replenished and
external
Of course.
IRS, the internal revenue service versus the external revenue force. Let's get that external paying more.
Effect.
Let's kick it back in. Let's get those foreigners kicking in a little bit more to have a piece of what we got here.
Yep.
All right, good stuff. Dr. Scott Anderson. We had Aaron Scheetz on the front end as well. We want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Do something kind for one another. Be a force for good in the community. Do something kind and just perpetuate that good out there. And we're going to have a great year here. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rimes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Call Brandon Rimes at 813-917-1894. That's 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for the Consumer Quarterback Show.